not going to be able to add content in this area. So you can't add images in this experience. So you're going to have to take this information and I would bring it over into a program like Illustrator. So that way you can create the content and add it into for each page that you're going to have. So one of the things I would do is you can go in, I'm going to go ahead and delete, and again depending on what you want to choose. Oops, let me get everything here. I'm going to delete this. Let me go down to 50%. Make it a little bit larger on that part. And then what I can do here is I'm going to go and export this out. I want to export as a PNG. I want to click, and it's going to go to my downloads folder. You can change it wherever you want to go and download. Replace that because I already did that. And then what I'm going to do here is then I'm going to open up Illustrator. Okay, so once Illustrator is open, I'm going to do a File New. Okay, you have options over here where you can actually change the width. There's a templates up here, like if you're getting ready for the web, and they have common sizes here that you can actually work with on that part. You also have a variety of different ways you can actually use down here, which I'll showcase here in just a second. But what I'll do here is I'll use the common web one right here, size, and create. So it creates that page. Nothing again major on that part. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a File, Place, and in this regards I'm going to go to Downloads because that's where I stored the graphic. Here it is right here. I'm going to click on Place. It's a little bit large, so I just need what I need to do is I need to resize it. So it fits within this area. Now if you don't get exactly, that's fine on that part, but it at least gives you an idea here. And then what I'm going to do with layer 1, see it places it on layer 1. So what I want to do is I'm going to right click, not right click, I'm going to go to the properties here and I'm going to make it a template. Okay, then create a new blank layer. And then what you want to do is this information that you have here that's on layer 1, that's just a template for you. So that way you can go in and you can use Illustrator to draw your boxes and fill it with color. So then you can get exactly, so here I'm going to fill this in. I'm going to change the color of the stroke to be none. I'm going to fill this in with red. Okay, and then what I can do is I can take my text tool, okay, for my heading, I'm going to make sure that's white. I forget what color scheme you're using with that. I'm going to make a change to the font size. Okay, I'm going to move this up here. Okay, so again, I'm using the template that you create in the experience to use in Illustrator so I can add my content. And then what you would do is you would just, for each page, you just save it. And you can save, if you have 5 pages, you would save it 5 times, so with the different content added. So that's something to think about to do. Again, I'm just trying to give you some tips on helping you with the next task on that part. So if you need any help with Illustrator, let me know. The other aspect of this, when I do File New and I choose Web, they have some different templates down here that you can actually use, which is interesting on this part. Like this desktop, I can download this. And then I can open it up. And what's nice is it gives you a screen and you can actually use this to modify your website to make it look like what it will look like on a desktop. Just remember here, if you look over here in your layers panel, you have desktop shadow background. So you want to create a new layer, and if you want, with that new layer, multiple layers above it, you can then put your content in. So here I could do the rectangle. I still would put the template in, so that way I know what the template looks like. So if I'm trying to follow the template, but again, as you can see here, let's just move this to, you can go in and change and add color on this part. Actually, I think what happens here, I have to, because I don't see the swatch on that. So, so again, it's a different way of working with it, but I'm trying to give you some ideas for the next task so that you can work with. Again, whenever I do File New and I choose the web option, there are other templates you can actually utilize. And there's graphics that you can utilize if you're looking for certain icons on that part. So again, something to take a look at. You don't have to, but that's why we encourage you to use Illustrator.